Welcome to the real thing. That's a Rouse-Expand-And-Load thing for balloon art. I'm Graham Rouse, I'm the inventor, and I'm here as your host to demonstrate for you skills that you'll need to take full advantage of the world's best canvas for your balloon imagination. Today, I want to demonstrate for you the steps you'll need to take in order to move from a simple package of Rouse matrix banners to being set up and ready to load balloons in one of those 4 Rouse original and patented techniques. Simple, easy, strong, fast. One of the first things that we'll need to do is get the banner material, the Rouse matrix material, out of the package. So we'll simply pull it open. You can slide it right out, take the package and put it aside for now. Inside is an instruction sheet. On one side are the basic instructions for how to assemble and load the balloons. On the second side is the instruction sheet or the graph paper that you'll use to plan your design. The next thing is to simply unroll this material so you have it all out here in front of you to work with. Now you'll notice that this is kind of wrinkled from being in the package so long. You may just go ahead and work with it like this, but usually what I like to do is turn it over and then go, and where it's bent in one direction, I'll bend it back in the other direction. And there's a number of places along there, but we'll just give it a little crease here to get the idea, and then turn it back over. When you turn it over, what you're looking for here is this upper left-hand corner. There's a little logo R in there. I'll move in for a closer look at the little logo R in the upper left-hand corner. You can see it's cut out, and the other one is the same way. Now, on some occasions, it may be that this is not cut out completely, that the material is still stuck in there, but the R should still show up as it does here, and you can just pull that out to make it easy to identify. If they're not in the upper left-hand corner, then you'll want to turn the material until they are in the upper left-hand corner. Now, you'll notice that we have 2 pieces here that we're talking about. And in some cases, you may use just one of these panels if you're making a small display. It's only about 3 feet by 3 feet. But in most cases, you'll probably hook at least 2 of the panels together in order to build something larger. So we want to show you how to hook them together. First thing is that with them matched with the little R's in the upper left-hand corner, then it's possible to take these and move one sheet up and connect these 2 panels together by hand without any special tools. Or you could take the top one and move it down below, and you can connect it to build in that direction. Or you can take the material and move it down and connect these end to end on this end. Or you can move them down and connect on the opposite end if you want to create something longer in that direction. In order to connect these end to end, you'll notice that we have them aligned so that they're even on the sides. But you'll notice that this looks like a pretty solid block. How are you going to connect those 2 ends by hand? What we have here is a tab on the end. We call it a carrier tab because it's designed to help you carry the matrix around without it sort of falling open. And these are little tiny tabs in here that come apart. All you have to do is put your hand down on one side like this, take the other side and just pull it, and they come right off. Now the last one down here comes and jumps a little notch, and so it's a little farther down than the rest of them. But now you have the ends here that are ready to use. Do the same thing on the other side. And there we have them. This is extra material you can just put aside, and these are ready to connect. Okay, we have these laid out side by side. And take these 2 and pull this over so that they overlap just about 1 inch or so. Then we can take this one, and we'll take these notches and hook one, wrap the other around it, and then back around the other side, and you have them connected together. And that's just what we're looking for. If you want to undo it, you need to pull it back because there's a little hook on the end that helps keep it secure so it does not fall apart accidentally. But you can unwind it and take them apart if you like. You'll continue with all of them along there in order to complete the connection. There, now you see all of the 11 tabs around here connected one to the other. Well, it's nice and neat, and they don't fall apart. They hold very well. And then what we can do is back up just a little bit and show you that when they open up with the same pattern as all of the openings around them. Well, now I have moved back to our starting position with the two panels, one on top of the other, and the logo cut out in the upper left-hand corner. Only this time, instead of connecting them end to end, we're going to connect one above the other. So in this case, you'll lay them out so that the edges at this end and the other end are even. And you'll notice that we have pulled the tabs earlier, but what we're going to do now is pull the tabs on the other end, the carrier tabs. We'll just fold it over a couple of times, loosens it up, put one hand down, pull, and you have it off. Do the same thing on the other end. And now that one's out of the way, and it's possible to open the matrix fully. What we're going to do this time is make connections one above the other. Now the basic pieces work the same, that is the tabs are the same, and we're going to connect one by wrapping it around the other. But these are anchored, these are tagged down, so we're going to pop this loose on the end so that it's available to wrap around the other. We'll do this all the way across on both of them, the top one and the bottom one. However, there are also tabs like these on the very top edge and the very bottom edge of the ones. However, we don't need to use those, so it's best to leave those connected. Don't pull them apart until you really need to, and it'll work out better for you. We've moved down to the right end. You can see these ends are matching, and these are very close to each other. Now let's look a little closer so you can see exactly what's happening. We have one of the tabs here, a little short one sticking out there, and we have a mate to that that's right there on the other one. And we'll take those and wrap one around the other. In this case, we'll slide this end together. Then we'll take and wrap it around the middle, and then the opposite end. And those are connected, and it's hooked together in a nice, safe, and secure way. Now we'll simply repeat that process on all the tabs as you go along all the way to the other end. Well, now that we have the sheets connected and laid out, the next trick is to open them up. In other words, what we'll do is put one hand down just a few rows from the top and stretch it straight up. Move down a little farther and stretch some more. Move down a little farther and stretch some more. And simply go through this process. And then we'll take and move over a little bit and do the same thing again. Lift up and up, lift straight up. Now it's possible that you can just grab it and snatch it open in some odd direction and it'll work out. But ordinarily, your chances of everything working out smoothly are much better if you take the time to move over gradually for one or two rows of balloons at a time, or openings at a time, and then lift straight up. If you don't do that, it's likely you'll get a twist in the material. Now, a twist is not fatal to our operations or anything like that, but it will make it easier to load balloons and to do a neat job of it if you do a neat job of stretching these open a little bit at a time. Now, if you do, like I see here, where it's kind of curled up, one of the options is to take and clamp it to the table or anchor it to keep it from jumping around too much for us. Or if you can just re-stretch it out and you'll be ready to move on to the next step. Sometimes a couple of these pieces will stick together, and part of what you're doing is to remove any places that stick by stretching it open. Well, let's move in for a closer look and I'll show you how to deal with it, just in case you get some of those that don't want to open up properly. Ordinarily, they'll just come right open when you stretch on them, as we were doing there, but occasionally you may get a set that's stuck together and doesn't want to come open. So what you'll do is take your thumbnail and put it right where that split is supposed to be, and then take and bend this back and forth a few times and then pull on it. It should open up for you quite nicely. Now, as you can see here, we've gotten our matrix laid out and we've stretched it open and spread it out on the table, and with the logo R in the upper left hand corner. However, for loading, I usually find it a little faster and easier if we rotate this whole thing 90 degrees clockwise. So we'll turn it around in this direction. And I like that because it allows me to come along here and load balloons in a straight row, and that makes it a little easier and faster for me. And what we'll do is we'll come down about 3-4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, and I'll hook this in this little clamp here to the table. I have another clamp down here about 6 feet away, since this opens to 6 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll clamp this in down to the table. And now we have this laid out with about 4 rows open and available to load. and the other is hanging over the table. Now after you've loaded the first few rows, you don't need the clamps in order to keep it open, but they are valuable to keep it from the weight of the matrix that's below the table from pulling the rest of it off the table. Well, there you have it in 5 straightforward steps. How to set up in order to take full advantage of the world's best canvas for your balloon imagination. Simply open that package, take out the matrix, unroll it, and be sure to orient it with the logo R in the upper left-hand corner. Then connect your panels north, south, east, or west to set up a framework as large as you like. Expand that matrix so those openings will be ready for your balloons. Then place it on the table and orient it and secure it to the table so it's ready for you to load those balloons. And of course you're going to want to watch the next videos because they show you in more detail how to load those balloons using one of the 4 Rouse original and patented techniques available for your use free exclusively with Rouse Matrix. And that information is available right here, so be sure to watch. Get the details and learn more skills right here in this column of Rouse Sidebar Seminar videos. Thanks to our sponsor, Ballooniverse Mall. That's bvsmall.com. Your balloon frame supercenter with balloon frames in more sizes, shapes, and grid patterns than anyone else in the Ballooniverse.